we're going to talk about the partnership. I know we said partnership with Crunchyroll during the panel, so it's a good way to do that. If you would be so kind to dim the lights, please. All right. We have, ladies and gentlemen, some Robotech panel ground rules. We encourage audio and video recording of this panel. You can upload audio and video to SoundCloud and YouTube. But folks, for everyone's enjoyment, we ask that there's no flash photography of the panel. If you use a flash, you actually won't see anything. All right? Also, we encourage fans to use hashtag Robotech and hashtag Wondercon on social media. For everyone's enjoyment, please silence all mobile devices. Okay? Yes, do it now. You do not want to be that person if your cell phone goes off. It happened to me last year at San Diego Comic-Con. And folks, please hold all of your questions until the end. As I said before, we're not doing a Zoom call here, folks. We have ample time for Q&A. We have some prize giveaways as well. And folks, with that out of the way, my fellow Robotech fans, members of the industry, and invited guests, welcome to the Robotech The New Beginning panel here at Wondercon 2023. My name is Kevin Hebert. I handle marketing for the Robotech franchise. And on stage with me is our creative director, Tony Yu. Hey. When we last left the Robotech franchise, Harmony Gold rocked the anime industry from Texas to Tokyo with our 2019 announcement that we renewed our license with Tatsunoko. The renewal stated that the agreements for Macross, Southern Cross, and Mosquito will remain in full effect well into the future. Then in October 2019, the anime industry was shocked again when we announced our new partnership with our friends at Funimation. But when the dust settled from these announcements, both fans and the industry had questions. How will Funimation and Harmony Gold work together? Will Robotech ever come out in HD? And what about the Macross sequels and derivatives? Let's tackle the last question first. What about the Macross sequels and derivatives? On April 9th, 2021, it was announced that Big West Limited, Studio Nue Incorporated, and Harmony Gold USA announced an expansive agreement for the future of Macross and Robotech worldwide. But everyone keeps asking us, what does this mean? What are the rules of the road moving forward? That is what we're going to talk about here today. First off, the Macross sequels from 1987 and 2021 have been cleared for worldwide release. Licensing opportunities for the sequels from 87 and 2021 will be handled by Big West. The agreement also recognizes Harmony Gold's long-standing exclusive license with Tatsunoko for SDF Macross, and the use of the 41 Macross characters and mecha in the Robotech television series, and related merchandise throughout the world, excluding Japan. That means licensing opportunities for SDF Macross and the use of the 41 Macross characters outside of Japan will be handled by Harmony Gold and Crunchyroll. And the agreement confirms that Big West will not oppose the Japanese release of an anticipated upcoming live-action Robotech film. And speaking of the live-action Robotech movie, in April of last year, Sony Pictures announced that Iron Man co-writers Art Markham and Matt Holloway have written the script for the live-action film. Art and Matt have written the Sony Pictures film Uncharted, which grossed over $396 million worldwide. We are also pleased to announce that Hawkeye director Bryce Thomas has been attached to direct the live-action film for Sony Pictures. And here is a look at some of his work. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the director of Hawkeye is now directing the live-action Robotech movie. We are working with Sony on a lot of production stuff behind the scenes. We hope to have some more information on you very soon. Well, folks, but while we're waiting for that, we're pleased to announce a new apparel line for Robotech, and our friends over at Atsuko have launched a new line of Robotech apparel, including Robotech t-shirts and Robotech hoodies. And our friends at Udon have their own line of Robotech apparel, which is available now at the Udon store. And we're pleased to announce a new license, Culture Kings. Culture Kings is launching their own line of Robotech apparel, including t-shirts, hoodies, for both men and women. And ladies and gentlemen, we also have another apparel license, BioWorld. Our friends at BioWorld are launching their own line of Robotech t-shirts, and you can order these right now at Target.com. Yes. And folks, our friends at Udon have some important news regarding the Robotech art books. We are pleased to announce that the Robotech, the Southern Cross art book is now shipping. And Tom, I want to bring you here on the conversation. All right. You know, you've been talking, you worked really hard with Udon on getting all this information. Tell fans about what's in the art books.
Yeah, so just in a nutshell, the first Macross book did very well. We've continued on with the other books in the series. What used to be one large Robotech Art 1 book has now been split into 3 separate books about the same size now. So this gives you a sense of scope of the amount of artwork that's in there now. So now, especially with the Southern Cross book, there is more artwork, pre-production designs published in this than any book that has been published in the US or Japan. And so one thing that's very interesting, not only did we obtain everything that we could from Tatsunoko, we had a gentleman by the name of Roger Harkavy. He's big into anime history, traveled to Japan during a bankruptcy proceeding for one of the Japanese licensees and actually found some pre-production artwork that even Tatsunoko didn't have possession of. So we've actually rolled that, we put a big thank you to him and rolled that into the Southern Cross book as well. And it covers some of the pre-production of Southern Cross even before it became the Southern Cross, when they weren't exactly sure what they were putting together. It has some of the feudal Japanese era designs, that some of which actually even worked its influence into the Sentinels.
Yes, so folks, it's available right now along with the Robotech New Generation art book. So all 3 Robotech art books, Macross, Southern Cross, New Generation, are available right now. All 3 of them are available at Right Stuff Anime. And folks, our friends over at Kids Logic did something really interesting recently. They launched a new line of Robotech wristwatches. They created a series of 4, and the sad thing is, folks, these were so popular, they sold out in like 72 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. So we apologize, we're waiting for Kids Logic to see if they're going to make any more of these. But Kids Logic also is pleased to announce, and our friend was asking about this, the Dana Sterling statue is now shipping from Kids Logic. You can order it right now and it will ship from kidslogic.toys. And folks, we are pleased to announce that Robotech Reconstruction has been offloaded from a boat at Long Beach. It is now shipping. This era covers game covers the Great Battle with Dulce's Armada. Here's some of the interior artwork. Here's a look at the gameplay. And Robotech Reconstruction is now shipping from Strange Machine Games for $45. This joins the Robotech role-playing game, the Macross Saga, which is now shipping from Strange Machine Games for $60 as well. But folks, people are saying, Kevin, what's the next thing from Strange Machine Games? Will there be more role-playing games? The answer is yes. Here's a look at it.
In the first saga, we encountered the Zentradi, an alien threat of unspeakable power. They threatened our very existence and attacked us with the full force of their might. The Earth was nearly destroyed and left as a wasteland. But we survived and rebuilt. We knew the alien threat was coming, so we prepared. We built weapons and mecha of vast power. And when the masters came, we fought back and won, but paid a terrible cost. The Invid found Earth and swarmed with fury. They overwhelmed our forces and plunged the Earth into darkness and chaos. But heroes rose from the ashes to end the threat. Robotech Homefront includes all important figures, mecha, equipment, and ships from both the Masters and New Generation sagas. The potential to tell more Robotech stories is vast. New mecha, equipment, careers, skills, and ships are available for your world. Hero up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Robotech Homefront is the supplement to the Macross saga, covering both the Robotech Masters and New Generation eras of the franchise. Here's a look at some of the artwork. It will have two variant covers, a Masters era cover and a New Generation cover. Here's a look at some of the interior work inside the thing. And Tommy, you've been working on this for a while with Strange Machine Games, so tell us a little more about this.
They've submitted an astounding amount of work into this. The artwork and the amount of energy they put into the writing is amazing, so I'm looking forward to seeing this coming out.
Yeah, folks, you can see, here's some of the artwork created by, it's Francesco, how do you pronounce his last name? Echart?
Yes, I think that's...
I know, I can't pronounce his last name, but this is Francesco Echart's wonderful artwork. Would you like to see another one?
Yeah.
How's that? Yeah, and folks, this is only the surface. He's cranked out so much artwork. It looks phenomenal. And you will see Robotech Homefront in 2023. And everyone's asking, they're saying, Kevin, this is great. What about video games? Well, we're pleased to announce Robotech is now available on Nintendo Switch.
Yes!
Would you like to see it?
Yeah!
All right, here it is. Available for Nintendo Switch. But folks, listen, Kevin, we got video games. That's awesome. But whatever happened to the Robotech miniatures? Our friends at Kids Logic have made a new miniature game. Would you guys like to see it? Yeah, here it is. Check this out. Yes, the game is available right now. You can check that out. It's really awesome, folks. You're really gonna love this new Robotech miniature game from our friends over at Kids Logic. And our friends from Kids Concept also have their line of 1/12 scale Robotech the Macross Saga action figures, all shipping now, including the Rick Hunter and Min-May variants, along with the Lisa Hayes and Roy Fokker. And Kids Concept is pleased to announce a new Rick Hunter variant. You all remember the flight suit he wore in the first episode? Here it is. And also, folks, the uniform is made of real cloth. Yes. And so, folks, this is going to be available this year. And Toonami has their own line of action figures, starting with Wave 1, which is sold out, Wave 2, which is now shipping, and to be followed later this year by Wave 3. But everyone talks about, Kevin, this is all Macross-centric. It's Macross, Macross, Macross. Will you guys ever do something with the new generation? The answer is yes. We have a line of Cyclones with the Scott Bernard and the Lancer. And these are available right now from Toonami. You can go to toonamishop.com and order them right now. And they are working on a Masterpiece Edition Cyclone. Stay tuned. We also are pleased about our new license, Jada Toys. Jada Toys has launched what they call the Hollywood Rides. The Rick Hunter, Roy Fokker, Max Sterling, and Miria Sterling. These are die-cast metal Toyota supercars in the Robotech livery. And they are all available right now from Jada Toys. And folks, a lot of people are asking, they say, Kev, do they come with the figures? The answer is yes. And you can get these available either from Jada Toys, and some are available at Target. Yes. And folks, for your Transforming Toy fans, the 1/100 Macross 1/100 Retro Edition line is now available. These are now shipping direct from Toonami. And if you want something with a little more heft, our friends at Kids Concept have you covered with their own line of 172 fully transformable VF1s. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, please note it comes with LED lighting. The VF1S is available, along with the Rick Hunter VF1J, along with the Max and Miria VF1Js. And we are pleased to announce the God of Flame. What is the God of Flame, you ask? I say, you've all seen the God of Flame before, haven't you? Yes, a fully transformable VF1S in that color scheme you all know and love. Sadly, folks, it's sold out. Sorry about that, folks, it's sold out. But we also have our dark gold variant from our friends at Kids Concept. These are available right now at kidsconcept.com. But what about Robotech in high definition? You know, Tommy, we've been talking about this for a long time. A lot of fans have been asking, what's going on with Robotech in high definition?
This was something that took a very long time. We had a lot of materials within the Harmony Gold vault, and we're going to give you a little tour right here. And so over the years, Robotech home videos have been published many, many times. And here is a U-matic tape for VHSs back in the day. And this is a Betacam tape in PAL for European releases of the DVDs. And then here we're about to look at the original 16mm reels. So this is where all of Robotech was actually originally shot as Southern Cross, Macross, and Mospita. And here we're going to take a look at a 16mm color print, and that's it right there. And that reel is a half-hour episode right there. And this took a very, very long time. We had to find the right partner to do it right. You know, we actually sent these materials over to Technicolor, one of the biggest businesses to do this, to get this all digitized. And now it's stored digitally on hard drives and SSDs. And now we're glad that it's come out through Crunchyroll. The first release that came out on Blu-ray and also is available through streaming. We've done a very conservative light touch in terms of restoration, just so you get a sense of what the grain of the actual film stock looks like. So you see how it was actually, well, actually, when it got broadcast in the 80s, nobody could see that because television back in the time could not get that kind of resolution. But this is what was used to broadcast, produce and broadcast the episodes.
Would you like to see a clip? Yeah. All right, here it is.
In the year 1999, high above Macross Island, a phenomenal event occurred in the skies which altered the course of human history and defined a generation. Robotech. The iconic Mega Saga finally returns, now digitally remastered. Own the entire series on Blu-ray and experience it in high definition, featuring all 85 episodes. And stream the entire remastered series on Funimation. The official home of Robotech. Coming to a screen near you.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as Tommy has said, Robotech is now available on 1080 in Blu-ray. If you buy the entire box set, you get an exclusive Veritech Fire variant and an exclusive Roy Fokker figure. But folks, a lot of people have asked, Kevin, wait, we gotta talk about this for a second. Because with Robotech, the series and Shadow Chronicles joined the Funimation catalog, there's been all these reports that Sony's purchased Crunchyroll for $1.2 billion and that last year they're going to phase out the Funimation brand. What's going to happen to the Robotech franchise? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're pleased to announce that the partnership with Sony and Funimation will be continuing under the Crunchyroll brand. This unique partnership will allow both Harmony Gold and Crunchyroll to create, approve, and license new animated Robotech merchandise. The unique partnership allows both companies to manage and develop the franchise worldwide, excluding Japan, for new and existing audiences. And folks, one of our partnerships with Sony has made something interesting. A lot of fans have asked, they say, what's happened to the Robotech.com store? We go there and there's nothing. It's been offline since 2022. What is happening? Well, our partnership has allowed Crunchyroll to take over the Robotech.com store. So the Robotech.com store is now migrated to the Crunchyroll shop. And the nice thing about being on the Crunchyroll shop is that not only does it allow better shipping options for you, the fans, it allows fans new free financing for certain store items through Zezzle. And also, folks, our partnership with Sony allows all 85 episodes of Robotech to stream worldwide, excluding Japan, in HD on Crunchyroll. This includes Robotech the Sentinels and Robotech the Shadow Chronicles. And ladies and gentlemen, more will be revealed as both Funimation and Crunchyroll merge in the months ahead. But folks, that's our presentation. Ladies, if you'd be so kind to bring up the lights. We want to open it up now to Q&A. Folks, so just raise your hands. Dan, you have the white. Dan, just so you know, I talked to Kids Logic. The Dana Sterling statues are shipping. Yes, I know you've asked that question before. What is your question, my friend?
You have partners with Sony who now own Crunchyroll and Funimation. They own a lot of anime streaming stuff, and so I was just wondering, is it possible to make a deal with Sony or Funimation, or, well, they're all owned by Sony anyway, Crunchyroll, to do a short series, like, you don't have to do a 50-some episode series, like a short 10-episode series, something to get the fans excited, something new. It doesn't have to be a 100-episode series, because, you tried that with the Sentinels, and it only went 3 episodes, 4 episodes, and it was that, I mean, just to do a short series, is it possible?
It's possible. They want to do it, but here's the thing, Dan. I'm glad you brought this up. Both Crunchyroll and Funimation are merging right now. Sony's told us, they said, we want you to hold off on animated content until we can get this merge done. And folks, people are saying, Kevin, how long is it going to take? It's not simple. I was over at the Funimation Crunchyroll offices in Dallas, and they told me, they said, Kevin, this is going to take a while. It's not, well, they're actually separate companies, and they have to be merged together under the Sony system. That's going to take a bit of time. That's what Sony's told us. They said, hold off on this while we get this taken care of. So Dan, we understand that. Sony understands that. we've said that numerous times. We said, guys, we need you to hold off till we can get this merge complete. Because there's a lot of back of the house technical stuff, accounting, HR, that sort of thing for these two companies to merge. Once they merge, you've seen, folks, you've all seen it. Sony's been making a lot of big moves in the anime market. You all have seen it. You know, Sony's told us just hold off while we merge with this stuff, okay? Dan, come on up here. You get a wall scroll. Come up here and get it. All right, who has a question? Yes, in the blue. Yes, ma'am.
So, one of the questions I have is for somebody who wants to get into it new. It looked like I was noticing that you were saying that you showed the rooms going in, you showed the original tapes and stuff that were made. Would you recommend having somebody start with a full pack of all those?
Oh, so if you're streaming, just start from episode 1. I know there's one tendency that streaming companies always tend to do is they always tend to list the most recent episode last, and you know, don't be like me, don't watch Robotech backwards. You know, so I started Robotech a little bit confused, you know, at first back in the 80s, but just start from episode 1 and you're in for a good ride. It's a lot of fun, and it's all there on through Crunchyroll streaming.
What about clothes while you're watching it? Because I would want to get into it and put on like an outfit. Except do you have a good clothing line or like onesie pajamas? It looks like I would like to wear that and lay around and watch it. Like,
Would you like a onesie pajama line?
yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I would like that. And maybe, yeah.
We have a diverse fan base. I just say whatever floats your boat. You know, if you like to watch it in a onesie or heels or whatever, you know, more power to you.
We will let Crunchyroll know we want Robotech pajamas and onesies. Okay. They always we have monthly meetings with them. They always ask what any ideas. We'll pass that along. Come on up here and get your wall scroll. Okay. All right, Exter.
Standing up so people can see what I'm wearing.
Okay.
I noticed that there were, with regards to the new upgraded version of Robotech, that Love Little Live wasn't there, and also Robotech, the Untold Story wasn't on there, and also none of the information, like all the extra stuff from the previous DVD box sets, were not included on there. Are they going to be available for streaming, or were they included in the Blu-ray?
No, that's a Blu-ray incentive. So if you get the Blu-ray box set with all the extras, you get all that with it. Right now, most folks just want to watch the episodes, and so that's what's streaming right now. And some of the assets, such as Robotech the Sentinels, need a different restoration than the series, and that also goes. That same goes for Robotech Love Little Live. And so that will happen at some point later. And now, regarding Robotech, the 1986 animated movie, now that's a different can of worms because that is a Canon film project. And those rights were actually went through the Idol Company, a company that has since gone bankrupt. And the rights for Megazone from Japan has bounced around many, many different times. We once were kind of close where ADV Films had licensed Megazone and Robotech both at the same time, but because the underlying company Idol was still in receivership, the equivalent of bankruptcy, we couldn't make that happen. So now that's kind of been settled into maybe it would just we'd have to make a deal with whoever the successor company to Idol is.
Sir, over there in the brown shirt. Yep.
Do you think that there will be a movie for a TV series, a live TV series, where you give like a more in-depth, like view on the characters?
I think that's a great idea. Right now, the reboot that Sony has in mind is a live-action film. I think if you look at Marvel or DC as a template, once that gets going, you'll see everything else follow.
All right, in the black in the back there.
For the video game, any plans to have it ported to like Steam and Epic Games?
I'm sorry, can you speak up?
For the video game, any plans to have it on Steam or Epic Games?
You mean the Nintendo Switch one?
Yeah.
No, not really, because Nintendo controls their distribution for their platforms with an iron fist. If we did it for Windows, I suppose, but right now that game has been tailored for Switch, and that was an interesting one because the original game for the Game Boy Advance, it was made using voxel technology, which is like, remember Command and Conquer? Because the systems couldn't handle that much back then, but now they actually have 3D geometry. So that was the work that was invested in the Switch. That would be a different release entirely.
Let me ask you all a question, a focus group here. Would you like to see Invasion and Battlecry available on Steam? Just raise your hand.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll pass that along. So, all right, next question in the white over here.
Question, wondering if ever there's a chance you're going to do Robotech Funko Pops.
Robotech Funko Pops. You were down at the Funko booth today, I'm sure. I see you the big
I'd
time.
get them signed,
We will pass that along to our friends at Crunchyroll. There's just so you know, there's a lot of stuff going on with Crunchyroll with Robotech, and they're great to work with. They're outstanding to work with. But while you're waiting, we'll give you a wall scroll, okay? So, all right. Actually, they're in the black.
Do you guys have a merchandise booth out there today?
No, we do not.
Just a fan booth. It's at FC03 in the exhibit hall if you want to meet our big fans who run that booth and see some of the classic merchandise that is hard to get a hold of.
Yeah, one thing about the fan booth, a lot of people ask is, why don't you sell things at that booth? That booth is for non-commercial purposes only. We can promote anything we want, we can give away anything we want, but we can't sell anything. That's part of our agreement they have with Comic-Con. So, but and booths, as I'm sure you all have seen, costs are rising at conventions. Trust me, I'm sure they really are. So running a booth, we need to have one of our licenses. It just takes a while. So I know how frustrating it is.
Yeah.
So while you're waiting, I apologize if that answer got a little too long for you. Here is a wall scroll. That was an excellent question, by the way. Thank you. All right, who has another question over there in the gray? Yep, you sir.
Is there any timetable for the live action movie?
There is no release date yet. Once Sony tells us the release date, we're going to let you all. We're going to let you. What?
Hired any writers?
Yes, they hired the writers of the original 2008 Iron Man to write the screenplay.
I mean, they have a whole history of material to work from.
Yes.
But
Sony has the rights to all 85 episodes of Robotech. They can approach it from any direction they wish. Come on up here, sir, and get your wall scroll. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, sir in the back.
can we just make sure Michael Bay doesn't get it?
Well, we have a director. Jonathan, I think you're really going to like what he's going to do with the. We have a director attached. His name is Jonathan.
I'm just trying to make sure Michael Bay doesn't get it.
Folks, no, please no bashing. Folks, Hollywood is an industry built entirely on relationships, and I understand your concern.
Yeah,
But I just-
yeah.
We have a director. His name is Jonathan Rice Davies. He's wonderful. I think you're really going to like him. So come on up here, sir. You get the last wall scroll. I didn't realize we had as many.
You can give it to somebody else. I got one.
Okay. All right. All right. Over here.
I have one.
What?
I have a question. You have a question, huh?
What's your question?
Taiwan. I came from Taiwan.
Okay.
I never heard about the Robotech. So is any time the new picture will go to Taiwan?
It's streaming worldwide on Crunchyroll right now. So you can watch it on Crunchyroll in Taiwan. And Sony has worldwide rights for the live-action Robotech movie,
That's great.
including Japan. Sir, yeah, come on up. Get your wall scroll. Come on up to the last wall scroll.
I just returned from Japan.
See, there you go. So there you go. All right, there you go. Excellent question. Okay, who has another question, folks? All right, sir.
With retro being really big and popular with each generation, one of arcade is one of the biggest things going on right now. What's the likelihood that we can see something similar to like the video game that Max and Miriam played in the arcade?
Would you would you like a Robotech arcade game?
Why not?
Well, there was the arcade release from a few years ago where we had a miniature arcade game that you could play. It looked like one of those little Pac-Man units, but it had the Robotech game adapted for it.
I saw that in Las Vegas in an actual arcade. They had that as like one of the prizes. So I'm like, if they had a cabinet or a sit-down game,
Right.
like what Max and Myriad did. No one's gonna stab anybody though, but I mean like,
Yeah.
Now, if you're talking about, the holographic projection, maybe we just have to wait for that to be invented.
Sony does work in VR, folks. Just a reminder. All right, one final question, last question. Anyone? Going once? All right, way in the back.
You have more comic book content coming out? To the side.
Oh, yeah. You know what? We are working on that. So, we're probably going to be in a better position to talk more about it at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I was trying to duck that subject, but yes, we are.
Here, I promise you this. By December 11:59 p.m. on December 31st, 2023, you will know more about the Robotech comics. So, all right, just Tommy said, I promise you, bye. You remember, before the clock strikes 12 for 2024, you remember this, remember that comments. Okay? Folks, you've all been wonderful. Thank you so much for coming. We'll see you all next year, and please have a safe ride home. Thank you.